Tyler Rake, Rescue is an explosive action thriller directed by Sam Hargrave, marking his directorial debut after years as a stunt coordinator on Marvel films. Released in 2020 on Netflix, the film represents one of the most intense and visceral action experiences in recent years, combining brutal combat choreography with compelling emotional development. Based on the graphic novel City by Joe Russo, the narrative explores themes of redemption, sacrifice, and the moral complexity of private military operations in global conflict zones. The story centers on Tyler Rake, played in a physically and emotionally committed performance by Chris Hemsworth. Tyler is an Australian mercenary specializing in rescue operations in hostile territories, a military veteran haunted by the death of his own son during a battle with leukemia. This devastating personal loss transformed him into a suicidally courageous operative who accepts impossible missions as a way to escape the emotional pain that consumes him daily. Living in isolation in a remote cabin in Australia, Tyler regularly dives into the ocean as a ritual of purification and reflection, moments that reveal the depth of his existential anguish. The mission that completely alters the narrative's trajectory comes when Nick Khan, played by Golshifta Farahani, contacts Tyler through his mercenary network for a rescue operation in Dhaka, Bangladesh. Nick leads an international team of specialized operatives, including his brother Yaz and other military veterans who form a surrogate family united by their shared experience of global conflicts. The operation involves rescuing Ovi Mahajan, the teenage son of Ovi Mahajan Sr., a powerful Indian organized crime boss currently imprisoned in a maximum security prison. Ovi Jr., played with remarkable maturity by Rudraksh Jeswal, has been kidnapped by Amir Asif, a ruthless Bangladeshi drug lord who controls vast areas of Dhaka through a sophisticated criminal network. Asif, played by Priyangshu Painyuli, uses the young man as a bargaining chip in a complex territorial dispute involving narcotics routes between India and Bangladesh. The kidnapping represents a dangerous escalation in a criminal war that threatens to destabilize the balance of power in the region. The initial operation unfolds with impressive military precision. Tyler and his team infiltrate Dhaka and locate Ovi in an urban fortress controlled by dozens of armed guards. The rescue sequence is shot with cinematic intensity that combines tactical realism with spectacular choreography, showing Tyler using a lethal combination of firearms, hand-to-hand combat, and situational intelligence to systematically eliminate all obstacles between him and the target. However, the mission becomes dramatically complicated when Tyler discovers he has been betrayed by someone within his own organization. Saju, played by Randeep Hooda, a former Indian military officer who works as the Mahajan family's personal security guard, has received secret orders to eliminate Tyler after the rescue and retrieve Ovi without paying the mercenaries the agreed-upon sum. This revelation turns allies into enemies and forces Tyler to navigate a web of divided loyalties while simultaneously protecting Ovi from multiple threats. The betrayal results in one of the most technically impressive action sequences in contemporary cinema, a chase through the densely populated streets of Dhaka, seemingly filmed in a single, continuous 15-minute take. This epic sequence follows Tyler and Ovi as they flee through chaotic markets, narrow alleys, under-construction buildings, and finally across the river that divides the city. Hargrave uses a combination of vehicle-mounted cameras, drones, and Steadicam work to create the illusion of seamless temporal continuity, completely immersing the audience in the adrenaline rush of their desperate escape. During this prolonged chase, Tyler and Ovi develop a paternal bond that echoes the lost relationship between Tyler and his own son. Ovi, initially spoiled and naive, reveals surprising courage and emotional maturity when faced with mortal danger. Tyler, meanwhile, rediscovers purpose and humanity through the responsibility of protecting an innocent, allowing him to channel his pain into a meaningful cause. The dynamic between persecutor and persecuted becomes even more complex with the introduction of Farhad, a young soldier in Asif's forces, played by Suraj Rake. Farhad represents the next generation of urban warriors, child soldiers forged by the violence of Dhaka streets, but still possessing vestiges of innocence and morality. His pursuit of Tyler creates disturbing parallels between different generations shaped by armed conflict. Asif mobilizes all his resources to rescue Tyler and retrieve Ovi. They offer enormous rewards that turn the entire local population into potential enemies. The streets of Dhaka become an urban battlefield where every corner could hide an ambush and every civilian could be an informant. This constant paranoia creates an atmosphere of claustrophobic tension that progressively intensifies until the final confrontation. The narrative culminates on a bridge that symbolically represents the border between life and death, past and future, redemption and damnation. Tyler must simultaneously face Osif's forces and the operatives sent by the mercenary organization that now considers him a liability. The final battle tests Tyler's physical and emotional limits as he struggles to ensure Ovi's safe escape. The bridge becomes the setting for an epic confrontation where Tyler uses the urban environment as a weapon, transforming architectural structures into tactical advantages. The combat choreography combines military realism with cinematic spectacle, creating sequences that are at once brutally violent and visually stunning. Tyler's ultimate sacrifice represents the culmination of his redemptive arc, transforming a man shattered by loss into a heroic figure capable of making sense of his pain through the protection of innocence. The ambiguity of the conclusion leaves questions about survival and death that resonate far beyond the final credits, suggesting that true victory lies not necessarily in physical survival but in the recovery of lost humanity.